Hi, I'm James Ward. So I've been an evangelist for almost 10 years, and I've done a lot of things wrong in those 10 years. So I'm going to go through this. 7 Deadly Sins of Evangelism. I think might be the first presentation I've ever given that doesn't have any live code in it. I'm always writing live code. It might also be the first presentation that actually has pictures in it. So we'll see how this goes. Should be interesting. First Ignite talk too. So, all right, first deadly sin, only kind to knowing your product. As an evangelist, you need to be the absolute expert in your product. You need to know it better than anyone else. So one of the ways to really do this is to build something real with your product. You can't just be a casual user of your product. You have to build something that is production. When I was at TypeSafe, I was learning Scala. I built a site called webjars.org, and it was such a great experience to learn about all the pitfalls, all the things that I was doing wrong, because those are probably all the same things that customers are doing wrong, the same things that I need to go write blog posts about and go back to the product team about. So we create a lot of content as evangelists. We do Stack Overflow, we do GitHub, and one of the things that I found that's really helpful about being an expert is when I'm presenting, if somebody asks me a question and I don't know the answer to that, I need to then go learn the answer. I need to go learn that part of the product. The second deadly sin is being a bridge to nowhere. As evangelists, we're always interacting with the community, and we have this great opportunity to take feedback back from what we're hearing from customers and take that back to the product teams, and then also hear what the product teams have to say about why they didn't do a certain thing and take that back out to the world. So we have this great opportunity to be a bridge, but one of the challenges is that not everybody wants that bridge. Not everybody inside of your product organization is going to want to hear the feedback that you have to give. So one of the things that you can do is you can actually take those product people and take them out to conferences so that they can see the perspective that you have. When I was at Adobe, I was interacting with somebody that does surveys of developers. And when I met them, they said, "Oh, you're the person that thinks they know more than I do about developers because you talked to 6 of them at a conference." Big deal, right? And turns out, actually, I do get some good information talking to those 6 developers. Number 3. Too much coffee. So getting on stage causes anxiety, makes us nervous, and coffee makes it a whole lot worse. I know this from experience. I probably had too much coffee today. Too much beer also makes it worse too. So take it easy on both of those. If you haven't seen this presentation of Michael Bay, he did a CES presentation, and it just fails horribly. Go watch it. We don't have audio for it here, but it is a fantastic example of what can go really wrong. He ends up just bailing off the stage, and I feel so bad for the guy because I've wanted to do that. I kind of want to do that right now. Just see you later. So no, I don't. I'm fine. But man, the presenting is hard, and embracing that using meditation. He's just gone. He's out of there. Using meditation and those sorts of things can really help you to be able to get through those times that are really awkward and when things don't go right. And I think you might need to advance my slides. I think they got stuck on that video. So the next one is practice. The next deadly sin is practice, or not practicing enough. And you really need to practice your presentations. Obviously, presenting is a very important part of evangelism. If you don't practice and something goes wrong, the slides stop, then you're not going to know what to do. You're going to freeze up, and you saw how I was able to deal with that. I would have seriously just walked off stage if that wouldn't without practice, right? So you got to practice. How much practice is enough? It depends. Are you a gnome taking beer bongs in a cross-country ski race? Then you need a lot of practice at that kind of thing. If you're going to live code, you need to be able to do it in your sleep. Okay? That's the number one rule. For live coding, you have to be so good at it that you can literally do it in your sleep. Because unless you've done it so many times that you can do it in your sleep, something will go wrong live coding. And you're going to fall, and you're going to be the drunk gnome on the ground, and it's never fun to be the drunk gnome that everyone's waiting for. So seriously, everyone says it all the time, practice, but you really just have to do it. Number 5, not derailing the derailers. we're always going to have people in our presentations that either intentionally or unintentionally want to derail us, derail our agenda, what we want to talk about. And sometimes that's great. Sometimes you need to go with it. But sometimes you need to figure out a way to deal with that derailment in a kind way. And so, maybe they're just unhappy people. They don't like riding horses. I don't know. But you need to have a strategy ahead of time for how you're going to deal with these people. So first thing is you can always say, hey, let's talk about that afterwards. If that doesn't work, my next strategy is always to involve the audience. Everyone in the audience, except for the derailer, they're your biggest fan. There's my friend Bruce right here. He has this huge fan that we met. Everybody in the audience is a huge fan of yours. They all want you to succeed. And so ask the audience to respond. Ask the audience what they think. Ask the audience if they think that this is something interesting that we should dive into deeper. So number 6. Hanging with the same crew. That's the 6th deadly sin. When I was first an evangelist, I didn't know anyone. So when I would go to conferences, I would meet new people all the time. I was interacting with just tons of different people. But as I got to know more people, especially the speakers on the speaker tour, there's always the same speakers everywhere, then I would just start hanging out with the speakers. I'd hang out with my gnomes. And it was great, comfortable. But I kind of lost that connection along the way with the people that I was trying to evangelize to and educate and help along the way. So it's really important to have those get out there, talk to new people. I already met a couple new people today, and it wasn't because I tried. Sadly, I'm not even embracing this very well. This guy Joe came up and introduced himself to me, and I was like, "That's awesome, man, Joe, you're doing it." So you got to get out there, introduce yourself to other people, have conversations outside of your comfort zone, which I'm horrible at. 7th deadly sin, not buying the beer. Evangelism is about relationships. We have to build relationships. And one of the best ways to do that is by taking people out for beer. So who's buying my beer? I'm ready for a drink. Anyone? Okay, awesome. All right, thank you guys so much for having me. I hope that was useful. Thanks.